This is China's cluster of 6 fast-moving tech startups working across AI, robotics, gaming, spatial intelligence, and brain-computer technology. And they all sprang from a single city, Hangzhou. Hangzhou, the capital of Zhejiang province, is home to more than 12 million people. It sits in the Yangtze River Delta, one of China's most important economic regions, about an hour from Shanghai by high-speed train.
This is a very creative city. It's more like Silicon Valley. Very good environment and not as commercialized as the big city like Beijing and Shanghai.
Hangzhou first rose to global prominence as the birthplace of Alibaba. But it has since outgrown the identity, rising 7 places to become China's best-performing large city.
It's driven by a few indicators such as wage growth, property sector transaction, and private sector share of total GDP.
But now Hangzhou seems to be making AI part of its DNA, and that's part of a wider national strategy.
By 2024, Hangzhou had become a major AI cluster, home to more than 500 AI companies, generating over 70% of Zhejiang's AI sector profits. But what exactly is powering Hangzhou's rise? And can these 6 little dragons go global?
It's lucky to be one of the 6 little dragons. There are many creative companies just like us.
Manicore builds spatial intelligence software, AI that turns real-world spatial data into digital environments. In February 2025, it became the first of the dragons to file for an IPO in Hong Kong.
When we start our business, we focus to use GPU to do the supercomputing. Then we are going to speed up the photorealistic rendering to do the visualization. It's very good business in China at that time.
DeepSeek made global waves in early 2025.
DeepSeek moment.
R1 DeepSeek was a fantastic thing.
Its open-source reasoning model, DeepSeek R1, rivaled OpenAI's O1 performance, but reportedly cost just $294,000 to train, a fraction of what its rival spent. Its app hit 16 million downloads in just 18 days, nearly doubling ChatGPT's 9 million at launch, and became the most downloaded free app in the US App Store.
That challenged the whole model of high-cost, compute-intensive AI companies. DeepSeek really symbolized this ethos of doing more with less, really that underdog energy that's implied in the little of little dragons.
Unitree shot to global attention after its humanoid robots went viral performing at China's Spring Festival Gala. The company is reportedly preparing for an IPO that could value it at up to 50 billion yuan or 7 billion.
The company represents how robotics is at the heart of China's AI push. Morgan Stanley has also said that the Unitree G1 is perhaps the most used humanoid robot in the world, thanks in part to its lower price point.
Deep Robotics was founded about a year after Unitree, but took a different path, focusing on industrial robots for factory inspections and work in hazardous environments. Game Science is the studio behind Black Myth Wukong, the action game that has sold more than 25 million copies as of January 2025, making it one of the fastest-selling video games of all time. And BrainCo is the only little dragon that started overseas, founded by Han Bicheng while he was pursuing his PhD at Harvard University's Center for Brain Science. The company moved its headquarters to Hangzhou in 2018. In 2025, it began seeking pre-IPO funding at a reported valuation of 1.3 billion. So, what has helped Hangzhou produce this collection of tech companies? It was Alibaba that put Hangzhou on the map, bringing capital and cultivating a generation of entrepreneurs. But Alibaba wasn't the only spark. Hangzhou's deepest strength lies in its ability to build talent. The city is home to Zhejiang University, ranked among China's top 4 and consistently in Asia's top 10. 3 of the 6 little dragons were founded by Zhejiang University alumni, including Yang Wenfeng, DeepSeek CEO. The university's strength in computer science, AI, and robotics has made it a natural breeding ground for tech entrepreneurs.
It has had some success luring people from other Chinese cities, even the bigger ones, and also there are anecdotes of graduates from, say, Harvard or Stanford applying for jobs there.
Hangzhou has also made it easier for talent to settle by easing the hukou system.
Hukou system allows people with Hukou registration to have access to domestic public service and social services like the education and social pension and the healthcare system. In the recent 5 years, when the economic situation performance in the first-tier city facing headwinds, many young people would choose to return to the provincial capital of their hometowns and establish their new life. We see a lot of second-tier cities entering into this talent competition war, and Hangzhou is just one of them. It doesn't have a very high barrier when deciding what type of talents can receive Hukou. The city also eliminates all these restrictions in terms of buying houses. But if you compare with Shanghai, they still have a relatively high bar when granting people their Hukou access.
Affordability plays a big part too. According to data from MSA Advisory, renting a standard apartment in Beijing costs around 6,500 yuan, or about $900 a month. In Hangzhou, about 5,000 yuan, a little over 20% less. And with software engineers typically earning 20,000 to 40,000 yuan, that salary goes further in Hangzhou than in China's Tier 1 cities.
It's not that expensive as Beijing or Shanghai. If you create a high-tech company, the environment should not be too commercialized. People have too high pressure on just buy house. They will change job too frequently. The high-tech company needs someone to focus on certain technology for many years. So they don't need to have too high pressure on the living.
But talent and affordability aren't the only draw. Yuhang, a district of Hangzhou, where many startups are based, offers subsidies of up to 600,000 yuan, or roughly about $80,000 for high-tech enterprises.
Hangzhou actually grants a lot of the interest-free loans to university students. So basically, they started nurturing this entrepreneurship from universities, starting from the school. And I think it's so far the most mature system supporting young entrepreneurs compared to other cities.
And in 2025, the city committed more than 100 billion yuan, or about 14 billion, to grow its AI industry and offer incentives to support more than 700 key AI firms. It also pledged 400 billion yuan, or about 56 billion, in broader tech investment by 2030.
Hangzhou government actually take a very light-handed approach. They give you a wide berth to test what you think that works the best, rather than visiting you like every day and giving you interventions or guidance and asking you to align with the city's policy agenda. Hangzhou government are being very selective rather than blindly seeking blossom everywhere. So that makes Hangzhou special, achieving more by having less resource.
According to Startup Blink's Global Startup Ecosystem Index, Hangzhou is home to 774 startups and 11 unicorns, making up about 8% of all startups in China.
So there's a suburban area, Langzhou, that's known as a coder's village. It has a bit of a campus-like bubble environment, and a lot of the talent pool is being fed by alums from Zhejiang University.
The industry cluster and ecosystem that Hangzhou has built since the establishment of Alibaba is something that's hard to replicate elsewhere. So you basically have a cluster that connecting the digital economy, e-commerce, AI, and robots. All of these industries are within a 30 minutes circle. So that creates that efficiency and mobility, and it creates a really nice ecosystem that allows people to discuss their business and their ideas.
Hangzhou has shown it can punch above its weight, using talent, affordability, and policy agility. But the next test is scale. Competition is intensifying, even within China.
Even Hangzhou itself has other competitors like the Qianwen. It's Alibaba developed AI large language model, and also we have the ByteDance and TikTok company developed AI models. I think this kind of competition is create a really healthy environment and competition for China's technology to leap forward and compete with United States models.
We don't know how all of them will turn out at the end, but they are part of this tech fabric in China that includes the old guards like Huawei and Alibaba and the young guns like DeepSeek that are together really putting up a challenge to the US with this global tech rivalry. But of course, success isn't guaranteed, and the next breakthrough could come from a startup that no one has ever heard of.